Hey YouTube, I've had a few people ask me what I do for water filtration at my house. I live in an old farmhouse built back in the late 1800s, and we're in a private well here that I had to replace a year and a half ago. I think we put a new well in. So at this point I've got a 240 foot deep um, private well, and my well house, meaning my pressure tank and pressure switch, are located in a well house that's outside, actually underground in a concrete cylinder. So once the plumbing comes into the house, this is what I do to treat it. I come in with 1-inch type A PEX pipe, and all the pipe that I brought in or that is not softened water, I ran in clear or white type Apex. So I split off, I run out to my irrigation, being my yard hydrants or hose bibs on the house, and then I come down and start filtering for that water that comes into the house. And I immediately go into a 20 micron spin down filter, and that filter I went ahead and piped the drain straight into our sewer stack rather than have a hose run along the floor into a floor drain or have to have a bucket. It's hard pipe, so I just open the valve on the bottom, spin it down, and close it off. From there I go into a 5 micron sediment filter. That's a 10-inch Big Blue, and then into a 10-inch Big Blue post carbon filter. I come out of the post carbon filter into a 1 micron sediment filter, and that's basically to pick up anything that the first two didn't grab as far as silt or sediment or any other particles. I come out of there and start treating the water with a whole house central filter. This is an A.O. Smith model. The reason I went with this is I've installed several of them for my customers and they've been bulletproof, so I figured if I might as well go with what I know, and this particular filter has been a really good filter. So the nice thing is, after 6 years you just change the filter. There's no cartridges or anything else to mess with on that particular filter. I come out of there and do an A.O. Smith high efficiency ion exchange water softener. And all of these products, I did an installation video for each one that I'll upload. I don't get kickbacks or perks from any of these companies. This is just all equipment that I've installed several times for other people, and I put it together in a complete system for my house and have been really happy with it. So out of the ion exchange water softener, I come into a whole house sterilizer. Now, most whole house sterilizers are UV light. This one happens to be it's the only device I have in this whole system that isn't name branded. It's actually built by a company called Future Technologies, and it is a UVC LED water sterilizer. So it's LED light instead of standard UAV, which is mercury vapor. Most of them that you see are 55 watts. This one happens to be 150 watts of LED, and it's tied into a flow switch, so it doesn't run all the time. It only runs when water is being used in the house. The nice thing about LED is as soon as they come on, they're at 100%. So once the water starts moving, the UV LEDs come on and off it goes. It's going to save a ton of money compared to a UV light that is on all the time, just sitting in that tube, and the fact that LEDs are way less expensive to run. So I come out of the water sterilizer into my plumbing manifold. I repiped the entire house in a home run system, so everything is home run back to this manifold. So if I have a problem with a toilet or a faucet or any fixture in the house, I can simply shut that one fixture off and leave the water onto the rest of the house here in the basement. Out of the manifold, I split over to an EcoSmart 27, which is an electric tankless water heater. This has been a fantastic water heater so far. The downside is it requires three 40 amp 240 volt circuits to run that water heater, but I'm not heating water unless I'm using it, so it's standing there in idle mode right now and not costing me a nickel to have hanging on the wall. And the water heater I had in here was absolutely killing me on electrical bills. So I did put a pair of service valves on the water heater along with a check valve and a pressure gauge, just so I know where I'm at pressure wise. And the check valve stops any water from feeding out of the water heater and bringing it on when it doesn't need to come on, or causing me problems if something was to drain in the system. I also come out of the manifold into a 100 gallon per day, it's a 10 stage reverse osmosis unit. It's got an alkaline filter and a pH filter on it, which I wanted to add back to it. Some guys will notice I did not run any hard water up to the kitchen. It's softened water, but it comes here first to get rid of any of the sodium or anything else introduced by the water softener. I come out of the reverse osmosis unit into just a standard RO pressure tank, and then to a 7.5 gallon pump system. So that's pumping the water back to my kitchen faucet, so I have the pressure that I would normally have in the kitchen. So it's basically 11 gallons, which is more than enough to do dishes, run the dishwasher, fill a pot for cooking, and there's a line that runs back to my master bathroom faucet, just so I'm brushing my teeth with that same water. So that's pretty much the system as it sits. Like I said, I've done videos of the installation of all this equipment and sort of explaining how it works, why I decided to use it, and so on. And I will post those here on the same channel. Thanks for watching.